I'm trying to talk about a theory that's complete. Now, if you take the rational faculty as a basis, that faculty deals with relationships. That's what ratio means. Rational faculty is dealing with relationships. And it's rational in the sense of a ratio that you always have some antecedent to the present situation whose tendency enables you to predict the future. I mean, that's rational. You expect it to go forward in this way. Now, the simplest critique of the rational is it tells you what the ratio of A to B is, but it doesn't tell you what either one of them are. And that calls for a different kind of knowing. You could call it absolute size against ratio of sizes. Now you could say, oh well, absolute knowing is impossible. Well, that's not what I don't mean it in the sense of some ideal way out there. I mean something that is directly applicable to your practice. For instance, if I were to tell you to make an arc 70 cubits long, you would say, well, what's a cubit? You don't have a practical. You could get the proportions of the arc, but you wouldn't know its size. In order to know its size, you have to have a different function, a function that gives you directly something in terms of value. See, when I say size, I'm inevitably caught in this of a ratio of one thing to another. Like you see on the map that 10 miles to the inch. Well, that's ratioing the inch on the map to the 10 miles of the territory, and if you didn't have the map to give you the size of the inch, you wouldn't have it. So the only way you can get this thing that I'm calling absolute is by some direct participation. You have to have walked a mile to know what it's like to have a mile. Or actually have it said that the inch was the distance from this part of the thumb to the other or something. Some physical object that you have access to so that you can know all these other proportions which are in the blueprint provided by rational intellect. But rational intellect does not tell you how big the thing is. This is provided by longing. Do you want that routine about the derivation of the word long?
Sure.
I was curious when I came to this. I was reading a book on the philosophy of science, and it critiqued Kant, and I said, we don't do it that way. We have the concept of length, and we go out and measure things and come back, and then we have a theory. And I thought of the concept of length as something rather not primitive. The infant doesn't have a concept of length. The infant has longing for the mother's breast or something. Now, was there any connection, I thought, between this emotional thing of longing and the rational conceptual thing of length? And I looked up the dictionary and found that the two words come from Anglo-Saxon belangen, which meant to have an erection. Now, you obviously see the connection between longing and length there. The longing is the investment of the self in the objective situation. So you see the value of that side of knowing in conjunction with the purely objective map. With the map, you don't know how big it is. It has to be related to you, and that comes about through your emotional, experiential contact with the territory.